G'day and welcome to another video. In today's lesson we will learn how to make this really awesome hat. This is the ribbed spiral, and the original pattern for the spiral that I already have a video tutorial on was designed by Zoe from 24 Karat Crochet, and we will be using this pattern as a base to this video. But we will be working the stitches a slightly different way. So if you have made my spiral hat video that is designed by Zoe from 24 Karat Crochet, you'll have an idea on how to work the spiral that's in this hat. I will put the link that you need to the other spiral version. The other spiral version is just using double crochet stitches worked through both loops, so just how you would normally do a double crochet. This one is worked slightly different to give you a different effect. As you can see from the photos, this is reversible, this hat. This is actually inside out, but it gives you these fantastic ridges that you can see. The photos show the hat the other way, which is actually the right side, and that will give you sort of a knitted look to a hat. Of course it doesn't look exactly knitted because it's not, it's crocheted. So the yarn that I'm using in this project is from redheart.com. Redheart.com is a great place to find written patterns and also inspiration for your next project. And it's also an awesome place to buy yarn. And what's better than that? So I'm going to insert a few photos. You may have already seen them. The free written pattern for this hat will be located on my website. I will put the link that you need. Please subscribe, there'll be plenty more videos to come. So let's get started on the lesson. For our supplies, we're going to need a calculator. I've just got my phone, but it's got a calculator on there, so that'll work. We're going to need 2 stitch markers. These will be your best friend when making this project. Your best friends, because there's 2 of them. You can use the professional ones like this, or you can use 2 pieces of yarn to tie on to where you need to put it. You can use a bobby clip, a bobby pin, a hair clip, a safety pin, whatever you use for your stitch markers, use that, but you will need 2 of them. You're going to need a yarn needle with a large eye. This makes it a lot easier to sew in your ends. A pair of scissors, a crochet hook to go with your yarn. If you have watched enough of my videos, you'll know that I've got loose tension and that I normally use a 5mm, so one size smaller, which is a H. This crochet hook here is a I size hook. You'll know that I normally work with a 5mm if I'm using Red Heart Super Saver. But for this project, I found that our stitches worked up on the tighter side, and it kind of made it a little bit difficult to work. And for my practice run, so this colour here was my practice run, I used a 6mm crochet hook. And I don't know if you can see, or you can now because I've just stuck my finger through the hole, but the holes are a little bit big, and I thought I'm going to try it with a 5.5 because I did start with the normal size I use, which is a 5mm or a H, but it worked up too tight, but I'm thinking the 6 is too loose. So now we're going to try the 5.5. So whatever size you normally use one size bigger. And you're going to need 2 colours. This project can be made in the one colour. I think it would look awesome in the one colour. It won't show the spiral effect at the top of the hat. I'll just grab the other one. It won't show you the spiral effect at the top of the hat, but it will still have the no seams and the awesome looking inside and out. So you can start with any colour that you like, so I'm just going to pop the red one aside because that's closest to the side where I put my yarn. And we're going to grab the end of this one. Oh, it's going to fall down now, probably roll across the screen. So with your first colour, like I said, doesn't matter which one you start with. You're going to make a slip knot. You can do this any way you like. And we're going to do a chain 4 and join. 1, 2, 3 and 4. We're going to join to the first stitch and make a slip stitch. Then what we're going to do is we are going to single crochet into the ring. And this starts off our spiral. So go into the ring and work a single crochet. We want to work a half double crochet, so that's yarning over, going into the middle. Pull up a loop and yarn over and pull through all 3. So your first was a single crochet, your second was a half, and now we're going to work 4 double crochet into the ring. So go into the middle, we've yarned over, gone into the middle, pull up, pull through 2 and pull through 2. So the main part of this hat is worked in the double crochet. It's actually worked in a front post double crochet, but that's the main part of the hat. So we need 4 of these all together. So that's 1, 2, 3 and 4. And I will assume that you already know how to do a double crochet for this project. If you don't, there are lots of videos to learn how to do that. And it says remove your hook. So we're going to take that out. We're going to grab our stitch marker. And what these are for are, I don't need to remember where we are, but to stop that loop pulling back out and your work coming undone. Because we don't want that to happen, because then we will lose where we're up to. So it's grabbing your other colour, single crochet into the ring next to where you finished colour A. So this was colour A and the red is colour B, because it's the second colour. So we're just going to join that in there. And I'm just going to make sure when I join it that it's over here. At the moment it's up the top there, but it should be around this side. I'm just going to pull it around. We're going to single crochet into the ring. Then we will half double crochet into the ring. And then 4 double crochet into the ring. You may have to move it all around. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we should have 12 stitches all together, and it does look a bit odd at the moment. So you should have 6 red and 6 white, or 6 of each colour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I do. And the reason we need 2 stitch markers is if you put your project down, so let's say, I don't know, phone rings, grandma's on the phone, or somebody, or the kids want something, you grab that other stitch marker and you put it in there. And now you can't lose where you are up to. When we are making the project, if you've got lots of time on your hands and you can sit down and not get interrupted and not have one of the kids or one of the animals pull out your stitches, you could get away with just using 1 stitch marker. So we've just finished the red and we want to go back to colour A, because that was the one we started with, which is the white. So we're going to pop that in the other colour, and this just makes sure that doesn't unwind. I'm going to pick up colour A, which is our white, and now we're going to work our stitches into the red section. If you've made a hat or made many hats, you will know the basics of increasing with a hat. I'll move my hand around, I can't talk without moving it. So you're basically following those increase methods, but we're working a front post double crochet. The first 2 stitches here and on the next ones, which will be over there, Just on that part of the hat, it's a little bit fiddly, but the rest is fine. You're going to yarn over. You're going to go behind the stitch, the red stitch. And you're going to work a double crochet. So go behind, pushing it out the other side, and work another double crochet. Into each of these stitches we're going to do the same thing. We're going to yarn over, we're going to go in from the front, out the other side. So we're just putting our crochet hook behind the post of the stitch, which is the bit that goes up and down that's here. I'm going to work a double crochet, and again around that stitch, double crochet. I'm going to do this in every stitch around. Going from the right hand side, there's a gap between the two stitches, going in, coming out the other side where the other gap is on the other side, and working 2 stitches. And we're going to do this all the way until we've finished the colour that's below. So until we've done this red colour, that's how many we're going to do. This last one can be a bit tricky. Just sort of pull that. They're the ends, so they can go around the back. Kind of need to just hold those strands out of the way in case you crochet them into your work. There we go. So that's 1 and 2. Grab your stitch marker. We're going to put our stitch marker in colour A. So now we're going to go back to colour B, and your yarn will get twisted. It'll sort of twist around itself. It's just what this project does. If it gets too bad, you can sit there and sort of untwist it quite easily. So what I'm trying to find the red one. So the red one is around here. That's where the other stitch marker was. I was looking for it. It was already in my work. Just popping those ends. I'm just going to zoom out a bit. There we go. Popping those ends to the back. We're going to work 2 front post double crochets around the next lot of white stitches. So yarning over, going to the side of this stitch, going out the other side, because it's not joined yet, so you can't really go in between. So going behind that one, working to a double crochet, and we want to work 2 in that stitch. I'm just going to get rid of that white one. The first sort of round or 2 is a little bit sort of, there's bits everywhere and you don't really know what you're doing if it's your first time, but once you've got past these 2 rounds it gets a lot easier. So next stitch we're going to go, so this is the half double crochet from the previous round. So we're going to go around that one and work 1, then go around it again for 2 stitches. And then just these white ones is what we're going to go around. So you're working around 6 stitches in total, but you're putting 2 in each, so we should have 12 after it. Okay, so we've got something that looks like that. I'm going to take the stitch marker and put it into colour B. So as you go around, there's less swapping because you get more stitches and you're crocheting more. So that works out good. I'm just popping the red to the back. Picking up, whoop, come here you. Picking up my white. So this is round 3. We're going to double crochet in the next stitch and then 2 into the next. And we're just going to work on our red stitches. And it says double crochet and then 2 in the next, and then repeat this 6 times. So finding our next stitch. So that one there was actually hidden, and I just pulled it and found it there. So we're going to go double crochet, front post double crochet around that one, and then 2 front post double crochet around the next. So that's once. We're going to go do 1 double crochet around the next one and 2 around the next, so that's twice. Around the next stitch we're going to work 1 front post double crochet. Around the next one we're going to work 2, so that's 3 times. Around the next one we're going to work 1. Around the next one we're going to work 2. And this whole project's front post double crochet until we get to the edging. So if I don't actually say what stitch is, it's exactly the same as what we've been doing. And then so that was 4. 4 times we've repeated it. So the next one, 1 stitch, and the next one we do 2. So that's 5 times, and our 6th time that we need to repeat it will be around the next 2 stitches. So it's 1 around that stitch, and around the next one we're going to work 2 stitches. Again, we just need to push those yarns out of the way. You could continue around on the white, but if you do that, it does get very confusing. I did that the very first time I made the hat, and I completely got lost. It's easier if you swap each time. I mean, if you're some sort of legend, then you could try it that way, but I couldn't get it to work. So swapping our stitch marker to our white that we just finished. And then we're picking up our red, which is colour B. And what we're going to do is we're going to do that again. So colour B, double crochet in the next stitch and 2 in the next, repeat 6 times. So go around the first stitch. So see how that's red there, and then it goes to white. So you're going around the white stitch. So we're going to go 1 front post. Around the next one we're going to do 2. Next one we're going to do 1. The next one we're going to do 2. We're going to do this until we've repeated that 6 times. And what you'll notice is when you finish with the red, it will actually be opposite, and it'll be down here when we finish. So repeat the 1 double crochet, front post double crochet, and then 2 double crochet. Repeat that until you have 6 sets. So we've done 1, 2, we need to do 4 more. So now we have, see how it's finished opposite the white one? And the easy way to count your repeats, instead of sort of going 1, 2, 3, if you just go to your increase, and as long as between your increases you have 1 stitch, so you know you've done it right, you count your increases 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know we've repeated it 6 times. So now we want to go back to the white. So we're going to pop our stitch marker back to the red, which is colour B. Now we're going to pick up colour A, which is the white. And it is round 4. I should really be marking this off on the pattern, but I'm not. So I'll get confused where I'm up to. So we've got round 4, and it says place loop into colour A, which we just did. Double crochet. We're going to front post double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So yarning over, going around this one. So that's 1. Going around the next one. So that's 2. And then around the next one, we're going to do 2. So that's 1, and then around the same stitch, 2. And I'm reading the pattern as I go, that's why I keep pausing. And then we're going to repeat this 6 times. And you know what? When we repeat it 6 times, what it will do is fill in that red section. So I'll just show you one more time. It's 1 front post double crochet around the next 2 stitches. Into the next stitch, we want to work 2 front post double crochet. And the 2 front post double crochet is our increase. Okay, so we're going to repeat this until we've got 6 lots. So now we want to pick up colour A, which is our white. We want to pick up colour B, which is our red. I knew what I wanted to say, it's just not coming out. Just pop that around the back so it's not in the way. So with colour red, or colour B, what we're going to do is repeat what we just did. So I'll just let you know and just remind you. So it's 1 front post double crochet around the next 2 stitches, and then increase into the next, which is 2 front post double crochet. Whoops. So it's 1, 1, and then 2. And we're going to repeat this until we have 6 lots of that. And again, when we finish, it should be down opposite the white bit. So there we go. Looking really cool. And I'm going to show you how to size a hat. If you know how to do it, then this will be a bit boring for you. But if you don't know, I'll show you how to do it. You're going to grab a tape measure. And I apologise if I didn't say you needed one for this project, but most crocheters have a tape measure, or you can use a ruler. Same thing, doesn't matter, as long as you can measure it. You're going to measure across the top. You're going to measure from one side to the other. So, popping that down. And this measures 13 centimetres. To work out how big that's going to turn out, grab your phone calculator. What did I say? 13 centimetres, and this also works for inches. It's easier in centimetres because they're smaller and they're easier to work out. So 13 centimetres times, so multiply by 3.14 equals 40.82. And this is how big that hat will be if you stop increasing now. 40 centimetres is about a 3-month-old, I think. So around about that age. So if you need to make your hat bigger, you need to do more increase rounds. If you needed to make it smaller, then you would need less increase rounds. So what we need to do is, I know I need to make my hat 18 centimetres. Is it clear? So 18 centimetres across times 3.14 equals 56 centimeters. Don't forget crochet stretches. So that, well, it's 56.5, so it's 56.5 centimeters. That will actually stretch enough to fit my head, because I know I've made many hats. I know that it fits my head. So another way that you could work it out, if you know your head measurement, so it's 58 centimeters divided by 3.14. You need to crochet, like I said, it was 18 centimeters. You need to crochet until we have got that measurement. I normally just drop off the decimal point. If it was like 18.9, I'd probably just round it up. But I normally just drop that off. You want to make it to the closest centimetre. And crochet stretches quite a bit, so just keep that in mind. So we'll pop that aside. So 18 centimetres, I'll probably have to do at least another 2 rounds of increase. So to do our rounds of increase, we need to start with this one. I'm really anxious today. I don't know why. I don't have any reason. Maybe I'm just excited about this hat. I really don't know. So I'm just seeming a bit jittery. That's why. Putting my pattern so it behaves itself. So now we're up to, so before in the previous round we did 2 stitches in between our increases. So now we're up to round 5. So with colour A, which is a white, double crochet, so front post double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So going around, 1, 2 and 3. And into the next one we're going to do 2. So we're going to work out increase. And again, we need to repeat this 6 times, and you will find that this will fill in up to the red over there. So again, it's front post double crochet in the next 3. And then 2 around the next one. There we go. Yep, I was just making sure that was correct. Repeat this again until we have 6 lots of those. Again, it'll just make you finish when you're over here. So I'll pause the video. You can pause the video. I can't do it for you. And then work your way around, and I'll make sure when we're over here. So we're going to grab our stitch marker. Pop it in colour A, which is our white. And now what you're going to do is get your white yarn out of the way so you can see what you're doing. Pick up the red. And we're going to repeat that, what we just did. So we did 1 front post double crochet in the next 3, and then increase in the next. And we're going to repeat around until we have 6 lots of 1 double crochet in the next, front post double crochet in the next 3, and then 2 in the next. We're going to repeat that until we have 6 lots. So again, it's opposite our white, and also you can easily count around to make sure you got your 6 sets. And I will show you how to do 1 more increase round, and then after that, if you need more, sorry, but you're on your own. It's easy. Every time we go up a round, you would have noticed that in between our increases, we have gained another stitch. So our next increase round is going to be, we've got 3 on this round that we just did. And on our next round, it's going to be 4 in between our increases. On the next round, it'll be 5. On the next round after that, it'll be 6, and so on. But after this increase round, it will be big enough for my head. Woo! The blue and, what was it, blue and green? The one that was just a kiddie version, so that will not fit me. what we need to do now, we're up to round 6. We're going to place colour in, hook in colour A, which we have done, and front post double crochet into the first 4 stitches. So going into the red one, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then work 2 around the next one. Again, 1 front post double crochet into the next 4 stitches, and then 2 around the next. We're going to repeat this around until we have repeated it 6 times in total, and this will actually bring us around until we're at the end of our red. So we've just finished our white, which was colour A, and now we're going to pick up our red, which is colour B. And we're going to repeat exactly what we just did. 1 front post stitch into the next 4 stitches, and then look, you can see my yarn is all, yep, going around on itself. Yeah, so picking up the red, which is colour B. We're going to repeat what we just did, which was 1 front post double crochet in the next 4 stitches, and then 2 into the next. We're going to repeat this around until we have 6 repeats. So I've finished my increases for my rounds. So like I said, if you need to add more rounds, this one we just did 4 stitches in between our increase, the next round will be 5. And just follow that method of doing 1 and then doing the other, and you will be all good. Once we get to the bit where we've finished our increasing and we want to make the sides of the hat, it doesn't really matter this part which one you do, but I'll keep with the sequence of swapping them over. This bit is where the easy bit starts, because we can crochet around until we get to, or basically until we run out of stitches, because we'll run out of red stitches to go into. And it's just 1 front post double crochet around every single stitch. And what you're going to do is you're going to make enough rounds for the height of your hat. If you don't know how many rounds this is or how big you need to make your hat, there is a document on my website that gives you all the instructions that you need. Gives you all the measurements and everything. And it's also got that calculation that we did before, so if you can't remember what you did maybe for the next hat that you make, it's all written on that document that's located on my website, and the link for that is in the description box or the show more box underneath the video, which you'll only see if you are on YouTube. So you just continue around. So when you get to your red, swap over your yarn and continue on with your red, doing 1 stitch in every stitch, and just continue on like that. And when you've finished, you will sort of think, oh, well, where do I stop? You stop with your yarn. See how at the moment that this red yarn is lining up to where the red and the white change here, just there. That's lining up to there. Well, you'll have your yarns lining up on each side. So you have one over this side and one over this side. If you don't understand what I mean, in the next video clip, you will see my finished hat with the length, and then you can see how mine's turned out. If you want to put the single crochet border on, or you could even use a half double crochet stitch for that, stop 1 round shorter than the length that you need. If you don't want to have that single crochet border on yours, then continue on until you've got the length that you need your hat. So in a minute you will see how much I've done to the length of my hat. Once we get to the end of the hat, or the end of the length that you need, you've still got both your yarns attached. This is looking awesome, by the way. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18 rounds from the white, and then just counting white, red, I've got 18 all together. And where's my tape measure? I'll just measure that to tell you how high it is. So this one is for an adult. Approximately 20 centimeters high. So now I'm going to go onto the edging, and if you have watched the plain spiral hat that Zoe has, and we've got a video tutorial for that, that edging also works with this hat. So I will put the link to that video if you want to use the alternative edging. It is a front post and back post alternating double crochet. But for this one, what I'm going to do is I am just going to single crochet around the bottom. And also if I've inserted Zoe's photo, I plan to, but if I haven't, you can go and see it on the video, but if I've inserted Zoe's photo, you'll see the alternative front post, back post stitch edging that we've got. Sorry, my pattern is trying to fall off the bench. So for the single crochet edging, what we need to do, once we've got our amount of rounds that we need, we're going to half double crochet front post in the next stitch. I should have said front post half double crochet. In the next one, we're going to do a single crochet front post stitch. And then in each stitch around, we are going to work a single crochet. We're not doing front post anymore, we're just going straight into the top of the stitch where we would normally do our stitches. Don't work your single crochet too tight because that will make the opening of our hat tighter. If you have problems, I would suggest using a larger crochet hook, but we just want to make it not loose, but not tight either. Because if you do it tight, like I said, it'll make it smaller. Of course, if you need to make it smaller, then do it tight. So we're going to crochet around until we get to the other yarn. So let's just pretend that we've done that, so I don't have to keep crocheting. That stitch marker was just to tell me when to stop. So again, on this side, we're going to half double front post, half double crochet, and front post single crochet in the next one, and then in the remaining stitches, into the top of the stitches, we're going to work a single crochet. And because we've done so many rounds, we know exactly what we're doing. We're going to work, well, as many as you want to, really. I think I need to work 2, maybe 3 rounds. And you're going to use, see how where we started our single crochet, you're going to use that as your marker. So I've got a stitch marker just there. I'm going to place it just there. Just so that reminds me that's where I started my single crochet. I've got another stitch marker handy here, so I'm going to use that one. Put that around here. Just to remind me when to stop. Because I will keep going and then I'll have to rip it out. So just single crochet all the way around until you have as many rounds as you want for your edging. Once we've worked enough rounds, I did 1, 2, and I've got 1, 2, 3. Got about 5 rounds if you count. 4 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah, 4 rounds. And now what we're going to do, just to finish off, we've got to just make this look nice. So we're going to go into the next stitch and we're going to work a slip stitch. Then we're going to cut off our yarn. Pull that back through the loop. Again on the other side, do the same thing. With a slip stitch. Cut off your yarn. Pull through, and then we're going to sew in our ends. I always sew my ends in on the back of the work. This is a reversible hat, so it's really not going to matter where you do it, as long as you sew your ends in to the same colour. Otherwise they don't hide very well. And when you sew it back across, it's coming out of here. You miss the first stitch and then you go over it and it gets trapped in that first stitch that you skipped. And trim your ends, make sure you pick up scissors and not a crochet hook. Then do this for all of your ends. And in the beginning one, you're going to pull tight, and then you're just going to sew these into the colours that they are. And here is my finished hat. I think this hat has turned out awesome. It reminds me of one of those peppermint swirls. Maybe it's because I'm hungry, but that's what it reminds me of. And poor Mannequin, the hat's too big for him because he has a small head. It's more like a teenager size head rather than a man size head. But I would love for you to share your creations on my Facebook page. I would love to see what colour combinations you have used. There is also the plain version of this hat, which is worked in just double crochet. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I will put the links to that version in the description box. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, there's always new videos coming out each week. We also have a newsletter located on BobWilson123 on my website. And I will put the link that you need in the description box for that as well. Again, thank you for watching. I hope you're having a great day. And until next time, happy crochet.